Hello, you're watching FTMKingdom with Theo. Um, I'm really flushed. It's like I've got sunburn, to be honest. It's not too bad. I went to the Star Trek world premiere on Thursday and stood in the sun for about 13 hours. So we've got a little bit of sunburn going on, which was fun. This week we are talking about lesbians or the lesbian community and how much of an affinity we feel to that group of people. I've got to say I don't have a huge lot to do with lesbians. I mean, I don't know whether gay guys in general do. I don't know whether we hang out in the same spaces, but I've known a few, uh, quite a few, um, but I've never hung out with them as a group. I've never even like gone to a gay club and met any, so it's not been a big part of my life. And I don't really think of them as a community. I don't really think of anybody as a community. Maybe trans people because I'm part of that, and I actively talk to people as a community, like not excluding cis people, but there's trans only groups. But I've never hung out with like a group of lesbians, so it's difficult. I just see everybody as like an individual, and I try not to like lump people together. And if there's a group of people, even if there's 100 people and 99 of them are assholes, I'm not gonna lump them all together just for that sake of that one person who isn't an asshole, because it's not their fault. They shouldn't get judged on everybody else. So I try not to do that. But there are the rad femme lesbians who I've come across. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but like my first video, the introduction one, got quite a few views. So it ended up on some rad femme's blog, and she was going around saying I was a lesbian who was in denial and hurting the lesbian community by making lesbians think that they could be men, and it was messy. It wasn't very nice, and but I'm not going to judge all rad femmes, radical feminists, I think that means, on that one person's behavior. Honestly, I haven't heard a lot of good stuff about that group, but I'm sure there are some awesome people in that group too. Um, but I don't even know if they are lesbians. I'm sure some of them are. I'm sorry if I'm guessing sexual orientation when I shouldn't. Um, so yeah, I've never really had the problem of people thinking, saying, "Oh, why don't you just be a lesbian?" Because I don't identify anything to do with that. You'd make a pretty shitty lesbian if you're a male person who's attracted to males. Doesn't really work. So I don't really get that, oh, why don't you just try being a lesbian? Because that wouldn't work. Luckily, I imagine if I was straight, I would probably get that a lot more. I do get people saying, well, why don't you just stay as a girl? And it's like, well, like, I can't really stay as a girl because I'm not a girl. So, yeah. Um, I'm just going to check at the topic and see if there was any like guidelines which I can expand upon. Uh, how do you feel about it? How are you involved? Am I involved? I'm not really involved. As I've said, how do I feel about lesbians? Fair enough, they can be lesbians. I'm not gonna judge them. Um, I obviously don't like ones who try and cajole us into like experimenting with. I don't. If they say I was straight and I was dating a woman who said she was a lesbian and she still identified as such and saw me as another female, that would really put me off. Of course, there are people who are lesbians who date a trans guy or even just date a cis guy and say, well, I'm still a lesbian. I just happen to like this person, because that does happen. That does happen. I mean, I say I'm gay and only attracted to men, but I've been attracted to women in the past. I just haven't recently. So yeah, it's different. It's different. And I think that you can have like sexual attraction and romantic attraction because I would say I'm probably like pan romantic because I fall in love with people based on who they are, not based on gender. So, and then I may be sexually attracted to them after that. I have no idea. Um, yeah, so I basically I'm totally fine with lesbians if as long as they're not being nasty to me as a person or anybody else, really. As long as they don't be assholes. That makes no sense. I know what I'm saying. I hope you know what I'm saying. I'll stop talking now, and I will see you next week. I think we have absolutely ran out of topics now, and we're probably going to start stealing them from other channels. But if you have any suggestions, leave a comment here on the group or whatever, and we'll make it happen. So, bye.